Last night I put out a video, just a short and sweet one, asking you what your questions were so that way I could answer them in a Q&A today. But the amount of questions I got about Bright Mountain were just astronomical. So I think it's time that we talk about what happened to Bright Mountain. I think it's just, the seal is bad. Well, this grommet looks old. Mine's fine. I'll just replace it. You know, I once told this company sometime around December, I was like, you know what I really want from Santa? A bag of grommets. Because the amount of grommets that I have to replace on trailers. Oh man, I gotta use my good ones. It's sad. These I got from FedEx a while back. They're really good. Like them a lot. I just use the little pliers to get these old ones out. It's a nice screen on that one. All right. Here we go. Should be good to go. Now let's check it. It's just airing up now. No air leak. I need more grommets. The problem is I can't buy these yellow ones in like a big pack. You can only buy them if you're a wholesaler. I don't know, maybe I'll get a wholesaler license just for that. We really do need to get going though. Why are you laughing at me? It's not funny. I guess to begin with, Bright Mountain started, I formed it back in 2020. I'm not sure when I was awarded the contract, but I know that I formed the company back in 2020. And it came about because of, it's a little tight in here, so I just gotta pay attention a little bit. But it came about because back when I was working for a contractor for FedEx Ground, I was up at the Portland hub, and one of the managers there, Will, told me that I should just apply for an opening that they had because I was planning on actually going off and doing my own thing outside of FedEx after that year. And he convinced me to apply. I ended up applying for that contract. I never thought I was actually going to get it, but I ended up getting awarded the contract. So then I was really scared actually because I was 25 and now I had to go out and buy 2 trucks. And I think if I would have known what I know now, I may not have been so I don't know, quick to jump, but I ended up jumping. I got the 2 trucks, so I ordered 2 trucks and then I got 2 rentals until those trucks came in. And at one point ended up with 4 trucks. I'm gonna take this spot right here. ended up with 4 trucks. These spots are really tight. The trucks themselves, it was so funny because when I got the new trucks, it was about a $5,000 a month payment, but the rental trucks were at like around, they varied because they were based on miles, but it was like $6,000 for one of them. I gotta pull up a little bit, I'm a little bit off. And it was a lot. It was a lot just to start off, especially being a small company. And then, so we grew, we had, you know, several drivers, and I went through, I don't know, a good amount of drivers. And, sorry, concentrating. Put her in. It's just really tight here, but it's okay. All good. I guess this is a good time to make a little backing tip. Just make sure that your trailer butt is facing where you want it to go. As long as it's facing where you want it to go, you can maneuver and fix it. Sometimes it's better just to pull up to get it to face the direction you want it to go instead of correcting it. Anyways, that's my little backing tip for today. When it came to the drivers, we had some good and of course some that were not so good, and you can never tell. I did as much vetting as I could, and I spent a lot of time with them. I spent a week with each driver that I hired to make sure that they knew how to do the job and they felt comfortable doing the job. And it just ended up that some drivers were hard on the equipment, some drivers made some mistakes, and it was just financially burdensome for a small company like mine. And it was a lot to handle while I was also driving and trying to manage everything. In the end, I ended up with just 2 drivers. 2 drivers that were super awesome. So 2 trucks, 2 drivers, and because I cared so much for them, we decided we were just gonna go back to the 2 trucks, start kind of over, start with a good foundation, and just build again later when it was better, because at this time the freight market also started going down. This was the time when you were seeing loads for less than $1 a mile. It was crazy. I don't even know how anybody was taking that. We moved out of FedEx Ground because they couldn't provide the home time that I wanted to provide for my drivers. And so we moved on to FedEx Custom Critical, and that's where it got really bad for a while, because not only was the freight market down, the customers that FedEx Custom Critical was servicing with the big trucks were able to cancel same day without any fees. So there was times where we would deadhead from Alabama to Illinois, and the load would cancel as soon as we got there, as soon as we backed into the dock. And then we would get absolutely no money for that. So we spent the money to go all the way up there, and this happened very often, and one time happened 3 times in 1 week. 3 out of the 5 loads that I booked canceled same day, and it was just unsustainable for us. So then we moved to Panther. The hard part about it was they were also an expedited company, and they were doing the same thing that FedEx Custom Critical was doing, and my one truck with the guys on it got these same customers. And so that just put a bad taste in everybody's mouth. And we were kind of just had enough of it. And at the time, they were very willing to like stay on and try to find another solution. But at the time, I just felt like with the way the industry was going, and they were ready to kind of move on to something else. One of them had family at home he missed, and the other one, you know, was about at the time when he was either going to retire or not. And it was just a good time to kind of have them start searching for another job. I better check to make sure that's off. That would have been bad. Long story short, I ended up letting them go. Well, they went on their own. I didn't fire them. But they moved on. And I ended up selling their truck and keeping this one. And so I stayed on because my routes with Panther were very different. So the solo market that I was in with them was doing really good at the time. So it just made sense to stay here. And so far, trash always. So far, it's just been good and it's been consistent and I haven't had to worry about a lot. So the type of industry that I'm in now is I'm an owner-operator, but I'm leased to a carrier. You can be an owner-operator and under your own authority. I do not run under my own authority. I run under their authority, which is really nice because it takes out a lot of paperwork, but it also takes out some liability, not really, because I still pay my own insurance and stuff. It's a little complicated, but I can go into that in another video if you guys want. But I'm an owner-operator leased onto a carrier. And I hope that helps. Oh, where is Bright Mountain going from here? Well, currently, Bright Mountain still owns my truck. So I run this under that company. And I don't know, do I ever have plans of hiring other drivers again? It was such a, handling people is really hard for me. One of my managers, Mark, would tell me that I just have too big of a heart. And so I really struggle to kind of be almost the authority that I need to be, like almost like a parent authority to them and make them do what they need to do and say no to some things. I just care way too much and I want everybody to be happy and I want everybody to have a lot of home time. And I think it's best that I just stick to myself for now. And I think I can provide a lot more to the industry by myself, doing what I'm doing and doing this stuff instead. So that's what I'm focusing on now. I hope that helps.